The inner struggle. To illustrate my inner struggles, follow here excerpts I've recently collected from several emails to friends over the past 2 years. July 2, 2009. I actually love Muslims because of their strict opinions, and I watch a Muslim program on TV just to get an idea of its beauty. Their practice of modesty is called hijab. They have much to remind us Christians. February 1, 2010. To be honest, I'm going through a crisis in my faith, my identity, and my vocation. My crisis is that I'm a Muslim on the outside and a Catholic inside. I can't bear to let go of Jesus, but I can't to stop liking the way of life of Muslims. I like both, and it seems that put me on the margin between Christianity and Islam. February 16, 2010. In the last year I have had an attraction increasingly increased by Muslim, Middle Eastern culture. I can tell personally that if I had to choose my religion according to my if I feel like today, I would convert to Islam. March 2, 2010. I'm a little angry and disillusioned with the worldliness in the church that obscures her light. Sometimes I look at Muslims and I wish I could be one, since I've been fascinated by Islam for the last year or two, but I know I can't because I am very attached to Jesus. I watch 2 programs Muslims every week, just for interest. In one of the programs there was a man who became a Muslim. He said that what he liked most about the religion was his simplicity, and he loved the way Muslims are dedicated, showing their faith in the way they live and dress. One can practically see a Muslim by his appearance. These are the main reasons why I am also fascinated with religion. Told with a middle-aged Muslim lady in a local store that I go to acquire sewing materials. The store is run by Muslims, and I spoke to this lady before, because she asked me why I wear the veil. Said the she who, although not a Muslim, was a friend of Muslims. Or the guy behind the counter once said last year that I looked good in a scarf. I was very happy with the compliment. Here were people who had me understood. It made me so happy. Was very funny, but once a long time ago when I was doing shopping with my mother, I was veiled as a Muslim, and my mother said, "You should have been born a Muslim." Said the she with a smile, "I know. Certainly didn't want me, but as I saw my interest increasing, I became more and more worried about losing my Christian faith, despite everything. My beliefs in relationship to women, and even some about marriage, are the same as those of women. And sometimes I feel that I fit in better with them than I do in the middle of the world. Catholics know I have as much sense of belonging as I do among Muslim women." March 3, 2010. She said I must try and find the cause of my love for the veil, and I was frustrated when she lifted this subject. I felt annoyed when she said that the Catholic veil was not, and that I naturally adopted the extreme form of the veil, Muslim. What is the Catholic veil, anyway? Can I use a mantilla for Mass? Yes, but I can't go out with him. That's why I don't use it. Do I have to be a Muslim to like the veil? June 5, 2010. I must confess other things. I have a strong interest in Islam, and I see many options in Christianity. Or Islam seems so unchanging and timeless, and Christianity seems to have changed so much that has become unrecognizable. January 18, 2011. I told you before that I have had a fascination with Islam, which has grown until I put an end to the fascination, because I feared it would take me to the wrong path. Soon after that, I went to the convent. When I returned, the interest came back, and, in fact, it is attracting me so much that I decided to investigate Islam further. This religion attracts me because my behavior is more that of a Muslim than of a Muslim Christian. It's as if my personal opinions on many things, especially about modesty and the veil, were reflected in Islam. The situation in which I am now is actually following the same pattern as my interest in the Catholicism. I was too afraid to tell my mother, the principal. I was too afraid to explore Catholicism for fear of damnation, and I studied it in secret and practiced it before I made up my mind about any possibility of conversion. As a Christian, the first feel more and more alone, because I'm alone in some of my convictions, while as a Muslim she would be one of the many who believe and find solidarity and support. In fact, Islam appealed to me for the same reason which Catholicism attracted me to at first: oneness, which exhibits most visibly in practice. This interest in Islam, it worries me because I'm afraid, as I was before I decided to become Catholic, that if I change my belief I will be condemned to hell. No, I can see how God would condemn other religions to hell just because they follow Christ directly. However, as a Christian, the first am told that if to abandon Jesus I will be lost. I can't accept the conversion now, but the way my interest is developing, it seems to become increasingly viable. It scares me, and yet what can I do? Should I deny Islam, which attracts me so much? February 11, 2011. I'm going through a crisis of faith again. Returned even more than before. I'm feeling disillusioned with Christianity again. My heart is wavering. I'm terrified to go to hell and, at the same time, exhausted from hearing that I will go to hell if choose to change my belief. February 13, 2011. In response to my friends who were very worried about me, it's hard to try to fit in with Christians when I am more suited to the Christians. Muslims. And it's not just because of the way I dress or I believe in relation to modesty. It also has to do with how much I love the way they worship, using bows and prostrations, taking their shoes, all in unison, men and women apart. Their lifestyle simple and practical, and its surprising pilgrimage, unlike any other. Even the way they bury their dead is the way I want be buried. I even found an Islamic name that I like. Sadiqa, meaning lover of truth, modesty. What is it happening to me? How dare I go in that direction? I ask myself. When I go to Mass, I feel a peculiarity and yearning to be surrounded by Muslims. No, I can feel a connection with many other Christians, particularly the women, and that hurts. What would be better? Martyr me continuing in this lonely way, being a quirk and not fitting in the name of being a light, teaching modesty, and yet feel bitter, exclusivist and lonely? Or, find a niche in the which I will find a sense of belonging to a community, not helping both to others, although still continuing to sow, but being happy and having inner peace? What would be more important than to avoid the path of sin in my own soul? No, I can bless other souls if I am not happy in my own soul first. I can assure you that I'm praying to God. I'm sure He wants me to be myself, and I also feel that I belong to others. I can't think of an angry God with me just because I seek and explore. I'm just speculating. Nothing is, but I feel torn between two paths.